thank you very much for joining us today in our first webinar, and the webinar is devoted to the topic of fluency, how you can improve it, what you can do, and actually what it means, because many people overlook the exactly like what it is and how you can work in it. So to start with, I want to introduce myself. That's me. My name is Elena. I've been teaching English for 15 years. I'm a language instructor and I am a part of Small Talk to Me team. Today I represent Small Talk to Me. So this is a platform where AI assistant can help you to improve your speaking skills, to help you prepare for IELTS exam, to prepare for a job interview, or just for everyday communication in English. So before I go any further, I want to just get to know you a little bit better. Could you please put something in the chat like, hey, hello, maybe your country? I would appreciate if you share your location, where you are right now, what country you're from. That would be really great to just get to know each other a little bit better and for me to understand who I'm talking to today. And also, I might be speaking too fast. I will try to fix that. But that would be a great idea if you share what level you are. Are you B1, B2? Are you intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced? Type it in the chat for me to just understand how I can adjust my speech. Maybe I should speak a little slower, or I can speed up and demonstrate you my fluency today. Okay, so please take a moment to type in the chat. Let me know. I will check. Hold on. When my presentation disappears, do not freak out. That means that I'm trying to see the chat. So please, hey, hello. Yeah, I see your hellos. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for your active participation. Please type where you come from. That would be also nice to know. And your level, like what level you are. We want to know our audience. Okay, give me a moment. I will check again. Yeah, so I don't see it for now, but I hope you will join, or like someone else will join us soon. If you have just joined, please type your language level, yeah, and also country where you come from, for us to break the ice a little bit and to get to know each other. Okay, so I'm not going to wait any longer. Let me move on. So before I move on, I just want to tell you that for everybody who stays with us till the end of the webinar, you will get a special offer from the team, from Small Talk to Me. I'm not going to reveal it right now, so please stay with us and see what you can get. Trust me, there will be a lot of benefits for you. Okay, so let's get down to business to talk about fluency. So before I start, I want you to think about why does fluency matter? Like, why is it so important? How it can influence your maybe career, yeah, or your confidence? Because first of all, that's about confidence. If you can speak confidently, that can lead you to professional opportunities, that can help you to make a positive, a good impression on your potential client, on your potential partner maybe. So, and in general, it helps us to have a better communication, to have like a better connection with other people. So fluency is important, but many people they don't really understand exactly what it is. And in today's webinar, I want to cover 3 main points to help you understand it better. So let me go over the agenda. So what to expect in today's webinar? So first of all, I will tell you about the key elements that fluency consists of. Then I will talk about the tools and tips and techniques, how you can improve your fluency, what exactly you should do to speak more confident and, to be more confident. And the next one is we'll be talking about some smart things that you can do to start thinking in English. I'm sure that's a dream of everybody, because that's one tiny switch that can help you to become fluent and never think about the translation in your mind again. Okay. So before I reveal my secrets, I want to ask you a question. Can you please brainstorm? What does it mean to be fluent in English? And again, I would highly appreciate it if you share your ideas in the chat box. So for you personally, what does it mean to be fluent in English? Like what part of your language development it is about? So please type it in the chat. I will give you a moment. If my presentation disappears, I apologize, but I really want to see your comments. Give me a moment, I will look into it. Okay. So I see your levels. Okay. Please type your ideas. I would be happy to see them. Okay, let me see the chat. Yeah, so to speak confidently with native speakers. Thank you, Mark, for sharing. Yeah, small talk to me is typing too. Thank you guys for sharing. Fluency is being confident in your skills. Yeah, I would love to hear a little bit more specific answers, like what kind of skills? Is it about vocabulary? Is it about grammar? But that's okay. So thank you very much for sharing your ideas. Other guys also, I would highly appreciate it if you share your ideas. But without further ado, I'm going to continue. And I will tell you about 6 key elements of fluency. I'm not going to reveal it all at once. I will do it one by one, telling you what exactly this means. But that will really help you to understand which areas of language you should work on to be truly fluent and to become more confident. So let me start. The first one is confidence. So the one thing that I want you to remember is that confidence is firstly about your language learning experience. It is about your personality. It is about your perfectionism maybe, or your fear of making mistakes. And then at the end, it is about your English speaking skills. So first, always think, what factors influence your confidence? Because it is not necessarily the language. From my teaching experience, I can share that I see many students who have really nice vocabulary range, who know all the rules, but when it comes to speaking to real people, they have so much fear, they feel so thrilled, and that's not about English, right? That's about something else. Don't worry, I will tell you what you can do about it, what special techniques you can apply to improve your confidence, but it will come after I cover all the 6 elements of fluency. So please stay with me. I hope you are not bored. All the useful stuff will start really soon. Just let me know. Let me cover the 6 elements of fluency first. All right, so the next one. Before I go further, I want to ask you a question. In your opinion, what is more important, grammar or vocabulary? If you think it is grammar, put a G in the chat box. If you think it is vocabulary, put a V. So please, I'll give you a couple of moments before I check the chat. What is more important, grammar or vocabulary? What is more important for your fluency? To be fluent, to speak freely, at ease? Let me know. G for grammar and V for vocabulary. I will switch to see the chat. Give me a sec. V, vocabulary. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Any other ideas? Please feel free to share, because that's a webinar, that's not a lecture. That means that would be nice to have some interaction. And you will definitely support me, because, that's not an easy deal to conduct a webinar. Okay. So if someone has more ideas, please share in the chat box. And I'm getting back to my presentation. Okay, so those of you who thought about vocabulary, you are right, guys. So because there's been a lot of research and lots of experiments conducted. And of course, it is much better if you know a lot of words. So we'll be talking about good vocabulary range. So what does this mean? A vocabulary range means that you can convey your message precisely. You can use precise words to express yourselves. You know different phrasal verbs, or maybe idiomatic expressions, or you know antonyms, synonyms of a word, so you know how to use this in the right context, whether it has a positive connotation or a negative connotation, whether this word is formal or informal. So these things don't come easily, but it is a really good skill. So how to improve it, I'll tell you soon. But let me move on to the next point. This is use of grammar. I want you to think for a sec, which constructions, which grammar structures do you need to know to be fluent in English? So give it a moment, like think about it. What kind of grammar should you know to be fluent in English? And give me a moment to have a glass of water. Okay, so I'm not asking you to type, it might be a lot, but you might have thought about things like conditionals or passive voice or maybe reported speech. And I want to tell you that to be fluent in grammar, you don't have to use really complex grammar structures. You don't have to overthink it. Yeah, so to be fluent in English and to use the correct grammar, you just need to know the function of which grammar construction and how you can use it in your speech. And you need to be able to convey your ideas, to express yourselves. But it does not necessarily mean that you have to use complex grammar constructions and to use them all the time. No, that's not the thing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about grammar. Let me move on. So the next one, the next point would be pronunciation. And this is important because you cannot be fluent if you stumble across some difficult consonants, difficult sounds. You cannot speak freely because of the complexity of English articulation. And what I want to say here that you should drop the idea of sounding like a native speaker. I hope that you understand how important it is to keep your authenticity, your uniqueness. So your accent demonstrates your uniqueness, your nationality. That's totally normal if you have an accent, but what you should work on is comprehensibility. This is the key here, this is the key word. Comprehensibility means that a listener understands everything you're saying without any effort, so you pronounce sounds correctly and you do not sound rude because of typical pronunciation patterns, intonation patterns in English. But it does not mean that you should drop your accent, that you should sound like a native speaker. Please don't feel ashamed if you have an accent. So people just, the main idea is comprehensibility. And the next point here, which is tightly connected to pronunciation, is fluent speech. I know it might sound funny here because pronunciation and fluent speech and fluency, that's all the same, but it's not. So to make your speech fluent, you have to be able to connect sounds and words. So your speech should sound like connected, smooth, like the flow of speech should go smoothly. How to do this? And for this, you have to know common features of connected speech. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but if you know it, put a plus in the chat. If you hear it for the first time about it, you can put a minus. It would be interesting for me how many people really are aware of common features of connected speech. So what helps us to connect sounds and to sound smoother and more fluent? Give me a second, I will check the chat. Okay. Yeah. So, talking about common features of connected speech, I hope you don't mind if I give you a crash course on typical features of connected speech right now. It will be really quickly, so I hope you will not get too exhausted. So the first one would be linking. This is how we link two words using some extra sound or maybe, like separating parts of the word. like go out, go out. We don't make a glottal stop, so we don't say go out. We would say something like go out. And or turn off. Like people don't usually say turn off, turn off. They would say turn off, turn off. So this is linking. This is a linking feature. So the next feature is called elision, and this means when you omit a sound. For example, in the next week, people would say something like next week, next week. It's really hard for your articulation, for your tongue, to put this t and go from t position to w position. That's why they drop it. Next week. Or sandwich, sandwich. So we don't say sandwich. It's a difficult combination of sounds. We usually use this with next or just, but if you Google, you will see more examples. Okay, let me move on. So the next would be assimilation. Assimilation, this is like a phenomenon when one sound affects the other. So, and because of that, they change a little bit, they alter. So in this example, you see green park, but because of p is labial, you say p, park, it's a little bit hard to combine n and p together. That is why they make m sound a little bit like green park, green park, green park. So you have probably never noticed this, but when you are aware, trust me, it will change the whole game for you. It will really help you sound like more fluent and smoother, so to say it smoothly. Okay, so the next one is intrusion. So hold on, there are two more. So this one is intrusion. Intrusion is when we have an extra sound to connect to words, like w. Do it, do it, do it. Or I agree, we use y, like I agree, I agree, I agree. So this works with these two sounds, w and y. You can combine words like that, but you need to do some research to see what are the typical combinations. And the final common feature of connected speech is reduction. Reduction is when you do not pronounce a sound to its full extent. For example, not cup of tea, but cuppa, cup of tea, cup of tea, things like that. So I don't know like if you have heard about it before or not, but I hope that this small crash course helped you to understand what I meant by fluent speech in my spidergram. Okay, so for those who doesn't know whether you have a good vocabulary range or grammar, or you are not sure that your pronunciation is comprehensible and you would like to check like how well you pronounce sounds or what is your speech pace or your speech rate, I can recommend going to our platform, Small Talk to Me, because AI assistant can help you. Like you will be recording your voice and the platform will give you a wonderful feedback. So you see here that you will get feedback on your vocabulary, your pronunciation, your fluency, and grammar. So it gives you also like recommendations, what you can say instead of this, how you can improve this or that. So that's a really, really cool feature. And we have many of the tasks, many of the exercises for free. So check this out. You lose nothing here. Okay, so let me finish my spidergram. Let me finish talking about the 6 key elements of fluency. I have covered a lot, and the final one is familiarity with the topic. I can talk to you about xenotransplantation, or I don't know, pollution, or asteroid threat. And it sounds like a really difficult topic to talk about, and no wonder, right? So if you know nothing about the topic, it will be really hard for you to speak fluently about it, even in your mother tongue. So that is why familiarity with the topic is also a key feature for fluency. Luckily, we do not talk about such topics in an everyday life. We usually have it in an IELTS exam or something like that. But there are also definitely some techniques how you can improve this, how you can be ready to talk about whatever people suggest, whatever you come across. Okay, so how you can improve your fluency, knowing about these 6 elements, how you can work on each element. Before I continue, I just want to check the chat again. So if you guys have any comments, feel free to text. Yeah, let me see. We have Paul here. Yeah, so I see that some people have never heard of features of connected speech. Some people are not sure. Yeah, thank you guys for voting. Okay, I'm getting back to my presentation. Okay, yeah, so now I'm going to reveal all the wonderful techniques and tips how you can work on each point, on each element. And let me start with confidence. Talking about confidence, you will have to face the dragon. You will have to face your fears. But before that, you need to challenge your inner critic. You need to stop being too hard on yourself, being afraid of mistakes, and just being afraid of somebody's judgment. Just relax. English is not your first language, and it's totally normal that you make mistakes and you don't know something. I would just recommend that you think about it a bit deeper, like why you are afraid of it in the first place. So what exactly makes you feel insecure and why? And after that, yes, you should do what scares you the most. Maybe you can go to an English club, and it's pretty scary to talk to some strangers in English. Maybe you can sign up for some course, or even talking to the AI on our platform can be thrilling sometimes because you are talking and recording your voice. So yeah, do what scares you the most. Start taking the steps. It will definitely help you improve your confidence, because with each step you will feel like, okay, you're growing and you have less and less fear. And even if you make mistakes or look stupid, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, for sure. What else I can recommend here is to get inspired by others. What this means is find a community, join a club, maybe ask a friend to support you. You can talk together in English, or you can talk together with your partner in English. Or just chat online. But you need to find people who are also interested in improving their English, who are also working on it and can share your struggles. Set manageable goals. Yeah, I mean, of course, shoot for the moon, but do it step by step. Like, set some manageable goals, see what you can do. Maybe, okay, this week I can watch a movie in English. Or if you are preparing for IELTS, this week I can write one test. That's also a pretty manageable goal, in my opinion. And this is one trick that I can recommend when you have some fear, when you're frightened, when you're speaking. For example, you're having a work meeting, or you're talking in public, or you're talking to a stranger, and you are you're too focused on your English, you are afraid of mistakes. How to get rid of that is just to focus on your message. You should focus on what you want to say, on the content, the message that you want to convey, and in this case, you will calm down. It will get much easier. You will stop thinking about your English all the time. You will focus on the main idea that you want to convey, you want to share with other person. And that's the best thing I can recommend. And of course, practice makes confident. The more you do this, the more you practice speaking to other people, the easier it gets. That's for sure. So the next point that I want to cover here is vocabulary. How to build your vocabulary. So first of all, you should gain a lot of exposure to the language. So what does this mean? Exposure means that you surround yourself with English. You listen, you hear it, you see it, you feel it. Like, English is everywhere. That will really help you. Like, if you do something, if you Google something, Google it in English. If you read something, read it in English. So try to surround yourself with English language, and after that, start paying attention. It is not enough to surround yourself with English speaking environment. You have to pay attention to the language. How people say this or that, what words they use for that, or what constructions are used in this case. I can share my experience here. So I was living in Turkey, and I really like Turkish language. but I didn't really take any classes to learn it formally. What I was doing, I was walking down the street, or I was just going to some places, and I was listening to people really attentively, and I tried to pick up the language, to see the typical patterns in language, like, okay, this means that, and it helped a lot. So attention is the key point in any language development. Of course, when you pay attention, you recognize some words, you collect words, you need to build a collection. And I highly recommend that you have maybe an application where you collect all the new words. You can make cards with that, you can add examples, and it's really important to add examples which are relevant to you. Like if you are learning English for business goals, it should be examples connected to business. But if you're learning English for traveling, of course, you will come up with examples connected to traveling. So that is important to appropriate it, like to use it in your own context. To build a vocabulary, I can recommend to you that you use Quizlet or Reword, or also Yandex Translate has this functionality when you add a word, and then the dictionary creates cards for you, creates some games for you to revise the vocabulary that you have already learned. So yeah, definitely that's a good tool. That's a good thing to do. So yeah, of course, when you are learning English, you need some feedback. You need someone to listen to you and to check whether you are using these words correctly. And in this case, you need a teacher, or you can do it with our AI platform. So because we have like the vocabulary booster exercises, and you can choose a topic that you want to work on, and the platform, the AI assistant, will listen to you, will check your language, your speaking, and they will give you feedback. And that's also a pretty cool thing to do. In case you cannot work with a teacher at the moment, feel free to use the AI assistant. That will be also a really cool thing. Okay, so the next point that was in my spidergram was grammar. So how to brush up on your grammar. I'm not going to recommend doing any gap fills, or matching exercises. It will not really help you to improve your grammar, especially in speaking. What you should do is you should learn how to notice and how to analyze. Again, my example is Turkish language. So you just pay attention and you notice how people talk about this or that. It's not that hard to do actually, because each grammar construction has its function. Whether you talk about the past, whether you talk about the future. So you just pay attention how people typically do that, and it will stick to your brain much better than just learning boring rules, right? Well, I hope you're not bored right now. So, okay, so you need to notice and you need to analyze why it is used like this. And after that, always do your research, because you need to confirm your idea. Yeah. And then you can go and experiment in your speaking, trying to apply the new knowledge in your speaking. Don't forget to seek feedback, because we are not learning language in isolation. We need someone who will hear, who will talk to us, and who will be able to confirm whether we're using it right. Okay, so the next point, how you can improve your fluency, would be to move your tongue. I would like to ask you to do it right now. So go on Google and search interactive phonemic chart, because this is important for you to learn how to pronounce sounds in English. They are for sure so different from other mother tongues, especially vowels. If you do this search, so interactive phonemic chart, you will see something like this. You will see this green table. This is on website englishclub.com, so feel free to use it. It's not an ad, but it's just a recommendation of a really cool resource. And this is interactive, so when you click on each sound, you will hear it. You can also click on the word below the sound, and you will hear how the sound is pronounced in a word. And you can compare, for example, long E and I, like sheep and ship, and other words here also. So, and the platform, the website also provides some really nice exercises for improving your pronunciation. Because if you can move your tongue, it will be much easier for you to be fluent. Okay, so I move on. What else you can do to improve your pronunciation? Of course, study the features of connected speech. Again, just search it online and you will see lists, you will see examples, and on YouTube you will see native speakers explaining how to pronounce it. Why not? You should do this too. And one more really useful exercise here would be shadowing. If you don't know what shadowing is, this is when you are listening to some audio and you try to repeat after the speaker using the same intonation, making the same pauses, just copying the exact way how the speaker is pronouncing that. This is called shadowing. On our platform, on a Small Talk to Me, we have this kind of exercises. We provide some videos. You can listen, you can shadow, and you can record yourself when you are doing this. The AI will give you feedback on that. Another really powerful tool is reading aloud. Reading aloud as much as you can. Whenever you see an English text, read it out loud. It would help you to connect your lips to your brain. It's just the first step to start thinking in English as well. And of course, practice, get feedback from a teacher or from Small Talk to Me. The platform gives really nice, precise feedback on your speaking. Okay, so we have the final point here, which you can work on, is familiarity with topics. Basically, that's about broadening your horizons. Especially useful for those who are preparing for IELTS, because in IELTS you can get all kinds of questions in the world and you have to have an opinion about it, talk about it, maybe talk about advantages and disadvantages. So for that, I highly recommend that you read some magazines, you sign up for IELTS, you do some IELTS preparation. It will help you a lot. It will help you to boost your general knowledge, and also learn how to anticipate what a speaker is going to talk about. Like if you go to a doctor, of course you anticipate, you expect that they will use some medical terms, they will be talking about diseases, medication and things like that. So anticipation and just broadening your horizons, like magazines. There are lots of cool magazines in English which cover different topics. My favorite to recommend would be Reader's Digest. That's a cool magazine. I will repeat the title. Reader's Digest. That's a cool magazine which combines articles on different topics like health, sport, news, entertainment, everything, but it is a little bit easier than authentic magazines. So it's just like, it is in English, but it is written using simple English. Highly recommended. Okay, so let me see the chat. Maybe you've got some questions on the way or you have some comments. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you are still following. You are still here. If you come up with some questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. So the next thing, as promised, I'm going to talk about how you can shift from translating in your mind to thinking in English. Well, first thing that you should do is start talking to yourself. And yes, I'm serious. This is the most powerful tool. How you can do that and what else you can do is you should practice simple thoughts in English. Like really short thoughts. I'm pretty sure when you have a lot of exposure, when you are learning English intensively, at some point you start getting some short words in your mind without any translation. Like, I don't know, like I'm hungry. Oh, it's raining. I don't know, I need to feed my cat. Things like that. Like really short thoughts. That's the first step to switching to thinking. Try to describe your surroundings and activities that you're doing. Just, while walking down the street, you can describe what you see, describe the weather, people you observe, anything. You can do it out loud or you can, I would recommend doing it out loud. Make a habit to do this. So make a habit to think, to talk about your day and to narrate your day. That would be a really nice step towards thinking in English. And of course, read books. When you read, you kind of read it, you see letters, you pronounce it, it goes right to your brain. That's a really good connection. and it really helps you to start like immersing deeper and deeper in the language, and eventually your brain will get used to it and you will switch at some point. Journal. What does this mean? So journaling means to write, like to write a diary or whatever you want. You can write anything, but writing also connects your hand to your brain, and it's also like a really nice interaction of these functions. Okay, so yeah, as I have already mentioned, that you should immerse yourself in the language, and the goal here is to create a mental environment where English becomes your primarily mode of thinking. This is why you need to connect your mouth when you talk, when you narrate, your hands when you write, your eyes, yeah, when you read, and it all comes into like a really nice combination which helps to switch into thinking in English. But here, immersion is also the key. Like the more English you have around you, the faster it starts. All right. Well, I hope you're not tired at this moment, but that's basically it. Thank you very much for staying with me. I know it was our first webinar, maybe not that perfect. I promised next one will be much better. But for everybody who stayed with us, I would like to make a nice offer. We have a Black Friday offer today for all of you. That means up to 50% off, with lots of benefits on the platform. So you can have access to countless IELTS speaking and writing tests, also custom tests. You can have some resources. You can practice your listening. You can practice shadowing. You can expand your vocabulary range. You can get feedback, like really nice detailed feedback on your vocabulary, your grammar, your pronunciation and fluency. Lots of features here. I highly recommend that you do not miss the opportunity. To get it, you can go to our website, that's Small Talk to Me, or to read the QR code at the end of the presentation. I'm going to show it in a moment. Okay, so yeah, it's up to you. You feel free to check out our website for free offers. Also, check this out. If you like it, you can try it too. So Black Friday offer is here for you. Okay, so before I finish, I just want you to remember maybe one key idea from this webinar. It is English is not a subject. English is a lifestyle. You should not treat it as a subject that you have to learn, to revise, to write, to do exercises. I want you to treat it as a lifestyle, something that comes naturally, that is implemented into your daily routine. And this one shift will change the whole game for you. It will be much easier to improve your speaking, to improve your fluency, and to expand your vocabulary. Pay attention, make it a habit, and make it your lifestyle. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for your kind patience. Here is the QR code. You can read it to get the Black Friday offer, to go to our platform and check this out. Highly recommend it. You can also take a free test of your English. I've done it too. You saw my slide at the beginning with feedback from AI. That was wonderful. The test is completely for free, so definitely check this out. Do not miss the opportunity. Okay, so I'm open to any questions. Feel free to type in the chat. I'll be happy to answer if I can. Okay. I struggle with daily practice. Yeah, I see. That's one of the one of the biggest challenges of many learners. What you can do first, if I talk about our platform, the platform has kind of reminders and it has tricks. Maybe if you are a competitive kind of person, you can try to keep the streak on, so to do something every day. I'm learning Serbian language right now, and I'm using an application which has these streaks, and I am really competitive. I cannot let it burn, I need to do it every day. Even if it is 5 minutes, I still feel like, okay, I'm on my way to improving my language skills. So try to find some solution for yourself, maybe an application, the platform, maybe you can subscribe to some channel, like, Telegram. If you know Telegram, they have channels who post daily. Maybe it also can help you. Or you can put a reminder on your desktop, like on your phone or on your laptop. So to like some desktop reminder, like to do some English practice. And what else I can recommend to improve this daily habit is to tie this new habit to do English every day to your old habit. For example, you have breakfast every day. Well, I hope you do. I do. I have breakfast every day. And now I try to remember that every time after breakfast, I take 5 minutes for practicing my Serbian on the application that I'm using. And it helps because I don't remember about Serbian just, out of the blue, but every day after breakfast, I'm like, okay, I've just had breakfast, I need to practice my Serbian. So always try to attach a new habit to the old one. It will help. So try this out. Okay, good tip with the magazine. Yeah, check this out. It's called Reader's Digest. But there are lots of other magazines like Science, New Scientist, Psychology, Traveler, National Geographic, like whatever area of interests that you have, you can find a magazine for that. I can give you a secret. If you search on Telegram, you can find some really nice channels with magazines there. Journaling really helped me, but I still have this brain block with speaking. Yeah, so here you need to know like exactly why there is a brain block. Is it about your like language skills, vocabulary, or you are like a perfectionist who is not ready to show their, ignorance? So yeah, like that's a little bit of psychology here, but try to sign up for a speaking club, some friendly environment, because speaking clubs, these are places where everybody's nervous. Trust me, like people are so afraid. But then after some 15 minutes of ice breaking, you will relax and you will start speaking little by little. And every time you come, you will see maybe familiar faces, and it will really help you to relax and start speaking more fluently each time. Yeah, try this out. Thank you for your thank you. Thank you for this live. I'm studying English teaching in Azerbaijan, but I want to contribute my master's abroad for improving my English. Yeah. And for your master's abroad, you will definitely need IELTS or TOEFL. And our platform is definitely one of the best resources for that, because we have so many mock tests and so many preparation for that. So check this out. It might really help you. I know for sure that it's hard to find mock tests, and it's really hard to find feedback. If you don't have a teacher who can listen to you 2 times a week and give you feedback, you can go to the AI assistant on our platform and get feedback on your vocabulary, on your grammar range, and so on. Also, do you recommend to learn English by analyzing songs? Why not? My philosophy here is do what you like. Like always do something that you enjoy doing, and it will come naturally. I know a person who has B2, who has upper intermediate level of English just from songs. They were listening to songs and looking at lyrics, and all lyrics, they have chunks of language. Phrasal verbs, idiomatic expressions, really nice everyday phrases. And you can pick up a lot of language from songs too, if you pay attention. So if you know how to pay attention, not only to a word, but what surrounds a word, like typical prepositions, typical verbs, typical collocations, why not? It can also help a lot. Yeah, waiting for a couple of more questions maybe. Thank you guys for your feedback. Let me see if everything is going according to plan. Yeah, we might finish a bit earlier today. Maybe I was too fast. I'm sorry if I spoke too fluent. That's my first webinar for a long time, and I was also a little bit nervous. So hope it was not a problem for you. Okay. Well, if anyone else has anything to ask, go ahead. I'm here. I will wait for a couple of more minutes. And if not, thank you so much for being here. Go to our platform, check this out. Here is the QR code again. We'll be glad to see you in our community. Yeah, that's it, I guess. I will wait a little bit for other questions, but if we don't have, I will stop the stream. Okay. Okay, I see no questions. Thank you for your reactions. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I hope there were many nice tools for you and you picked up really nice ideas how to improve your fluency, what you can do. I'm sure you learned something today because especially, you know, like things like features of connected speech or some recommendations of resources, that is definitely something that people oversee. And some people, you know, like they know vocabulary, they know grammar, but they cannot speak fast just because of their articulation. Like you need to practice it too to be fluent. For this, you need to read out loud, you need to talk to yourself, and with time, it will get faster and more fluent and more fluent. Well, I do not see any other questions here. Okay, so since I don't see any other questions and I believe that many people have already disconnected, thank you so much for being with us. See you soon in our other webinars. Goodbye, guys. Bye-bye, everybody.